We had 3 feet of snow, and I certainly at that time, I didn't have a 4-wheel drive or anything. I was going nowhere for a week. We, a 3 and a 6-year-old, no morning kindergarten, every day for a week. 2 young boys who, you know, I love my sons, but you've got a 3 and a 6-year-old, they're gonna fight constantly. The dwindling supply of chocolate, it was a desperate situation. I thought, you know, I'm gonna go crazy here. I can't rearrange the furniture again. I have no shackles for the boys, so what am I gonna do? And I decided to take one of the stories out of my head and write it down. And as soon as I did, I fell in love with the process of writing. I thought, get rid of the embroidery hoops, and you know, this is what I really want to do.
That's how it all started, and look where she is today. #1 New York Times best-selling sensation, 190 full-length novels, 806 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list, more than 400 million copies in print worldwide, books published in over 34 countries, 27 Nora Roberts books sold every minute.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Hundreds of millions of loyal fans. So who is Nora Roberts really? In her own words,
I'm a wife and mom and a grandmother. I live in a rural area of Maryland, raised my boys there.
Nora Roberts is notoriously prolific, writing 5 novels a year, 2 installments of a paperback original trilogy, 2 novels under a pseudonym, and a big Nora novel, plus novellas and short stories. How does she do that?
I simply have a fast pace. That's the luck of the draw. I love what I do. I love my job. I feel I have the best job in the world. I work every day, 6 to 8 hours a day. Some days it's not fun. It's not fun at all, but it never takes away the absolute thrill of being a writer.
And Roberts passes that same thrill on to her fans, both in her books and at book signings, large and small.
I think every romance reader is a Nora Roberts fan. She's just amazing. Her work ethic and her ability to spin a fantastic story is above and beyond everyone else's.
She's a storyteller. And the more she, you know, I mean, you get caught up in the story.
If I'm invested in the characters, I want to know what are they seeing, and what is this, where, you know, wherever they are, I want a real solid sense of place as a reader. So certainly I want to provide that as a writer for my readers. When I fall into a book, character is everything. Character makes the story, and the story is king.
I've got her J.D. Robb and her Nora Robert books. They're fabulous. This one's very scary. Her J.D. Robb kept me up all night in my hotel room.
But wait, let's flip back a few pages. Just who is this J.D. Robb person? Why, it's Nora Roberts, writing an ongoing series under another name.
I had actually had the idea for the character of Eve Dallas. What am I going to do with a woman like this? She's difficult, she's edgy, and she's not a traditional romance heroine. Female homicide lieutenant in New York, hard-bitten, driven to stand for the dead and the victim. But I wanted to show that the more things change, the more they don't.
And I thank you for your works. I've read quite a few.
Oh, thank you.
I love her, definitely love her. I mean, she totally blew me away with her writing and everything. And you know what? I come from Thailand to be here.
I travel with her books. Yes, she's my traveling companion in that I buy her books on Kindle, and I also buy her books hardback. I also buy the hardbacks for my mother, yes. So I'm a double scooper.
I work at a bookstore, and I mean, they're very action-packed, and you know, I don't even know how she even finds the time to write so many different books with so many different characters. It's incredible. She takes up like half the romance section at the bookstore.
I wanted to come and get her latest book. It sounded interesting to me. I read a lot of her books in the past, so I decided to come down here, and since I can get an autograph, I'm here.
And not only do I read her books, I love her movies as well.
Lifetime presents the Nora Roberts Collection.
For several years, Lifetime has aired 4 made-for-TV movies based on Roberts' novels.
I'm not going anywhere.
The romance, it just helps you to escape, kind of like fantasize, you know.
And then she throws in a little mystery and stuff like that. This makes it all wonderful.
My mom is a huge Nora Roberts fan, so she wasn't able to make it, and she wanted me to get a book signed.
I love listening to the stories some of the readers will tell about how they started reading my books, or how their father or their mother passed the books along to them.
And for all that Nora Roberts has been given through literacy, she gives back.
Nora is a very generous donor to us through her foundation.
Roberts also gives back to her Western Maryland community in a uniquely romantic Roberts way.
On the square in Boonsboro, it was the first stone building built in Boonsboro, built in the late 1790s. And it had been an inn originally, and then it was a bar, and then it was nothing, and really just it just started to fall apart. And when we were able to buy it, my idea was to turn it back into what it had been. Let's make it a bed and breakfast. Something that not only we can be proud of, but the town can be proud of.
Pretty. Hi, welcome to Boonsboro. Hi. Suzanne, I'm the innkeeper.
Suzanne, nice to meet you.
Well.
My husband Wally.
Hello, Wally.
We read about you on the website.
Oh,
We're one of Nora Roberts' biggest fans. My husband reads her too.
That is good to hear.
We have 8 rooms, including 2 suites, and they're all named after literary couples with happy endings, and that was a lot of fun for me. We've tried to be true to the era of the book that that the room is based on. We have the Elizabeth and Darcy room from Pride and Prejudice, and that's sort of Regency style. And we have the Eve and Rourke room, which has the bathroom is just fabulous. All of the bathrooms are fabulous. We have the Nick and Nora from The Thin Man, very deco, and Wesley and Buttercup from The Princess Bride.
Well, there's no age limit to romance.
That's right. Absolutely.
What is the right stuff? Roberts' first rule of writing?
Ass and chair is first, because you can talk and think about writing all you want, but you have to actually sit down and do it. Talking about writing isn't writing. Thinking about writing isn't writing. Writing is writing, and you have to write every day.
And even in our increasingly techno world, Roberts insists books, in whatever form, will be around as long as humans are.
Storytelling has been around since we were in caves and wearing hides. I just don't think that's ever going to change. The vehicle changes. And the power of the story again, that storytelling is so an important part of any culture. And to be able to be a part of that, to tell the stories that people read and pass on, it's a wonderful feeling.